All right, we live in introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Avery.
My name is Yassine.
I'm Johnny.
And I'm Willem.
We live in an age where people have access to information immediately through use of technology. And this is true for all sectors, but it is not for education when it comes to having help with your schoolwork from a tutor. For example, I have an AP exam tomorrow, and using the current tutoring services, it is almost impossible for me to organize a tutoring meeting for this evening.
Alrighty, so our solution to this is Tutorfish. Tutorfish is a progressive web app that will help connect students to tutors in their desired area of study. Our service will be free to use for both students and tutors alike. They can both sign up for our service. Tutors can create a profile with their level of expertise and their qualifications, similar to a LinkedIn profile. Students can also input their information and their desired area of study. After having signed up, students will have the ability to ask quick questions over the internet anytime to students, as well as the ability to set up an in-person session should a more in-depth discussion be required.
So what would the market look like for this product? So in Canada alone, there are 5 million students, elementary through high school. In doing our market research, we determined that approximately 1 in 5 students uses a tutoring service. This leaves us an addressable market of 1 million students in Canada. In the US, the market is 10 times as large. And the tutoring industry as a whole is in fact growing quite rapidly, with the tutoring market as a whole estimated to grow to $128 billion by 2020, which means we've got a massive market here to access.
All right, so our product will be geared towards elementary and high school students, as these are the ones that need tutors the most. We will also gear our product towards casual and professional tutors, with most of our tutors being high school or university students looking for an easy way to make extra money.
We're targeting parents as our target market because all transactions on our service will be done with a credit card, as students our age don't usually have one. And it also ensures a certain level of involvement and security on the parents' half for any meeting set up between the tutor and their child.
Alrighty, so how it works. There are 2 main aspects to our business, the micro-tutoring and in-person matching. Micro-tutoring is pretty much an on-demand Q&A service that students can use to connect with tutors. For example, if there's a student who has a test the next day and they get stuck on a problem the night before, they can send out a request through our app and it will be met by a qualified tutor. They can then connect using video and screen sharing platforms to go over the question. Our revenue model for this will be a pay-as-you-go system with a $2 flat fee, of which we take 10% for each question. Each question will be 10 minutes long. This pay-as-you-go model was heavily indicated by parents and students as the best way to pay for this service. However, we will also be incorporating or testing out a subscription service in the months after we launch in January of 2019.
If the student desires a more in-person and frequent approach, they can sign up for our in-person matching. The way this works is the students sign on, they input their area of study, and they will be matched with a tutor in their area. After the first time they meet, the student will provide the tutor with some feedback and a rating. Once the tutor receives this rating, they'll be able to set their own rates. And then from the meetings then on, the tutor will choose their rate. They'll be paid 24 hours in advance to us, and we will then pay the tutors 90% of the fee after the session has been completed.
So who are our competitors in this industry? So we've identified 3 main competitors: Tutor Doctor, Varsity Tutors, and Tutor Matching Service. These all have certain features that are good, but as you can see, they've also got quite a lot of negatives. We believe that there are a bunch of factors that make our product unique. Among those is our availability in Canada, our ease of use for both students and tutors, and our competitive upfront pricing. And finally, our most unique feature is our micro-tutoring.
We will be launching micro-tutoring in January of 2019. This will be made available to tutors 1 month before in order to ensure that we have a strong tutor base. In the following months, we will, in September of 2019, we will open our in-person tutoring. And from then, this will be opened in the Lower Mainland, and we'll use an Uber-like approach to target city-by-city integration to grow across BC, across the country, and finally globally. This will be marketed to students and parents alike across social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
So this is just a general execution timeline of what we see our development and launch looking like over the next few months.
All right, so the pro forma, as you can see, our graph starts in December, but from July 2018 until December, we actually have a development period for our product. We've been quoted around $70,000 to $80,000 for the initial development of the app, as well as we estimate around $50,000 in marketing via social media based on the current prices for CPM ads, and then some other expenses. All puts us around $150,000 in the red when we launch. And then as we continue towards our in-person launch, we bring on a couple more investors, which puts us a little farther down. And then in September of 2019, we launch the second phase.
So as you can see, there's a slight dip before the in-person launch, and that's as a result of us putting some money into marketing to assure that there is a market for our product for the in-person when that feature launches. After we launch the in-person, we continue our 10% growth. But we actually hit our lowest point in the red at $315,000 before steadily climbing back up and reaching a break-even point in May of 2020. And we just modeled two different scenarios. The lower down one would be if we were going it ourselves, whereas the top one would be if we had an initial investment of $350,000.
Why us? We're four motivated, academically oriented students who have navigated the currently available tutoring services. We wish to provide a facilitated and improved tutoring services for future students to come.
So to recap our product, we've noticed a significant need in the tutoring space and not much to solve it. So our solution is offering micro-tutoring as well as in-person tutoring that's easy to use and flexible for students and tutors. And we are run by motivated and driven people. And just to ensure that we can get off the ground and give all the features we'd like to see in our app, we would be asking for $350,000.
Tutorfish, come join our school.
He said as we bring on more investors, we go more into the red. I was going to correct you. Sorry. It doesn't matter. More investors, we go into the red. It doesn't matter.
Good job. I really like the tagline at the end. That's very well done. Yeah, I like this company as well. We're wondering how you're going to find the tutors that you're working with and how you qualify them.
So the way we would be finding tutors is hopefully through the advertising. It would cater to both the students and the tutors themselves. And the way we would ensure that we have a readily accessible tutor market would be that before the students would sign up, is that, like Avery mentioned, we'd have the tutors sign on 1 month before. So we'd do heavy marketing towards the tutors in that month where it's only the tutors signing on. So that would be to ensure that once the students log on, it's not only 1 or 2 tutors who are logging on and then everyone's kind of fighting over those tutors. There's already that tutor database established. And to ensure the safety and competency of the tutors, we do a criminal background check. And there's also the first session where you're not able to set your rate the first session. It's only after you receive a rating that you're able to set your own session.
Okay.
Or set your own rate, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I missed the ratings and reviews piece, but so you don't do any testing as far as their competency and their level of expertise in whatever field?
Yeah. In doing research again for the competition Tutor Doctor, Varsity Tutors, and Tutor Matching Service, they treat their tutors more like employees rather than casual tutors. So it's people who are almost full-time tutors. They're tutoring like at a very high level, and it's their job. They're brought in for quite intense job interviews, and we're catering towards a more casual tutor, a person who might be like me in grade 12 and looking to just help out the occasional math student. So we don't want to put those barriers in, but we'd have a contract that they'd have to sign and a criminal background interview, but we don't want to put in too many barriers because we feel like that might drive away some of the tutors.
It sounds like the model is a little bit inspired by something like Uber, because you're literally just giving the ability for the customer, the client, the person being tutored to say their experience level. So it's like a star rating is going to dictate the expertise of the person. Is that accurate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I think we had one more question. Well, it was actually more of a comment, but and a question as well. But we looked at, obviously we think this is viable. So we think maybe you could charge more. Could you speak a little bit to the $2? So that I even saw like $2 per question and 10%. How do you plan to scale that?
So I think we chose the $2 because we did a couple surveys of students and parents, and that seemed just to be like a good figure that's not too much. So I don't want to pay if I want to do 3 questions a week, but I have to pay $5, $10 for each question. Well, that's too much money. May as well just book an in-person session. But $2 also gives us a decent enough margin to make a decent profit. And it's something that we could see people, I need a question. Okay, $2. No, it's nothing. Okay, here. And I think we could definitely scale that up if we see a lot more traffic coming in and we get higher, more qualified tutors signing on with our service. We can bump up the price or offer maybe different tier levels in the subscription service and so on. But I think that's something that we would look at as our company grows and moves forward.
That was a great answer. You guys did a really good job.
Thank you.
What do we do with the